So the Billy McFarland Fyre Fest saga is finally coming to a close, and now the torch is finally being passed on to someone new. Yeah, the torch isn't even lit, damaged beyond recognition, and smells like someone took a shit on it, but nonetheless, the torch must be passed after someone pays $250,000 for it. But you guys know the story. Billy McFarland here was set out on creating the next best music event since Coachella. But as all of you should know by now, his festival was lacking the festivities that make a festival what it is, such as an adequate place to sleep, food that doesn't look like it was dropped on the floor and then reassembled right before it was given to me, and oh yeah, the entertainment! But if you guys seen either one of the documentaries that was made, then you would know that it's not just the people who paid to go that got fucked over. Virtually everyone that was working for Billy had to deal with some of the fallout from the failure that was Fyre Fest. After that, he went to jail, but was released way too early, which is when he announced Fyre Fest 2 and then 3. And for him to be this confident, even saying that he was booking more artists for this festival, was a giant red flag. It's not even a red flag, it was like someone tied some red fabric around a brick and they threw it at you as hard as they could. And they missed, which is why you didn't learn your lesson. But there was no artist in the world who would put their reputation on the line performing at Fyre Fest. The one artist who did do that still hasn't been able to release a video or an interview without somebody asking about Fyre Fest. Word has spread throughout the entertainment industry about how you should never work with Billy. But over the past few months, actually it might have been going back into last year, but ever since Billy announced that there was going to be a Fyre Fest 2, he has tried his hardest to make it a reality. I have covered every single one of his announcements leading up to this one, and to make a very long story short, Fyre Fest 2 was about as likely to happen as us seeing Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. They have a picture of that dude at Martin Luther King's funeral, but not a single video of a single point being scored. And not only that, the only audio coverage of the game starts in the fourth quarter. But I digress. Billy McFarland was not only never going to put on Fyre Fest 2, but to the people who actually bought tickets, now they have no way of getting their money back unless they explain to their bank what happened. And when they hear you say Fyre Fest, they're gonna be like, if you can't get your money back, how are you gonna think we're gonna get your money back? Nah, you fucked up. Excuse me, can you talk to me like that? Yeah, my boss will say the same thing. Yo boss, Fyre Fest guy. Yeah. No, I know, right? He fucked up. Buying a ticket to Fyre Fest and then complaining that you didn't get your money back is like a monkey and then complaining that you got AIDS. Now with that being said, I would like an update on these two on whether or not they got their money back, because they bought a ticket after the first comeback announcement and there have been 3 more made since then, each of them less likely to happen than the last.
I want to be fully confident that when I arrive in Mexico that there is a festival.
Uh-oh, retard alert!
But after not being able to find a place to host the festival without someone from the government of that place saying, we never said you could have this, we never said you could do this here, buddy, he decided that enough was enough and that he was going to sell the Fyre Fest name, meaning that whoever were to buy this could turn Fyre Fest into whatever they want. The name of the company isn't even Fyre Fest, it's just Fyre. It could literally be anything, a clothing brand, an energy drink, a gay bar. There are unlimited possibilities with a name like Fyre. The fact that Billy was dead set on making this a festival instead of making it a clothing company, energy brand, or gay bar surprises me. Like, I guess he wants to be known as that guy who throws festivals, but considering the situation he was in, anyone with a brain could tell you that it was time to move on. I won't lie, when I made my most recent video on him, I really thought the festival was going to happen. And he actually changed it from a festival to a getaway vacation type beat. Like, you would pay for your hotel and then you would pay for your tickets and you'd stay at wherever this place was for 4 days doing all these activities. If I can remember, I think they had, you can go on a kayak, then maybe an ATV, maybe do some little exploring. And I'm not sure if I have a screenshot of this exactly, but when I was making that video, I noticed that most of the room tickets were already sold. I know the amount of people that could attend was significantly less than what he originally had, but if he couldn't even put on this thing with, I'm gonna say 90% of the tickets being sold, then this was destined to fail from the start. But after scamming everyone who bought a room out of their non-refundable money, and then under that it says, we don't give a fuck what happens, you are not getting your money back. And they're like, hey, you used the wrong your. But Billy decided that he needed to sell this sinking ship while his head was still above water. And like I said, he sold the Fyre brand to an undisclosed bidder on eBay for $245,300. And just to put into perspective how little that is for Billy, he owes the investors he frauded during Fyre Fest $26 million, which he for sure was hoping that the sale of this would help him pay that off. But that's not even 1% of what he owes. And he sold this on eBay, so you know they already taxed him for some of that. This dude got investors to give him $26 million to throw a festival, a third of what Coachella has for a first-time festival, and he has nothing to show for it but a couple of documentaries that were meant to show how bad of a person he really is. Like, there is no one that genuinely likes this guy. The people that work for him are only doing so until he starts making excuses as to why he can't pay them. He's like, don't worry, I'll pay you, I got you next week, I just gotta go meet Kanye right now because he wants to be a headliner, so when he pays me, I'll pay you. Makes sense, right? No? Now, it apparently says that Billy live-streamed the auction, and when he saw how little it actually sold for, he said, damn, that sucks, it's so low. You know who else was devastated about something not going their way? The people you scammed. Like, there is no way he thought that this was going to sell for millions when there hasn't even been anything good attached to the name since before the festival even happened. He really thought someone was going to be like, FYRE Fest for sale? Let me give him $50 million. And you know what? Let me give him an extra $10 million on top of that because I know how much money I'm gonna make. Like, the amount he got is way more than anything he should have gotten, let alone deserved. It then says he laughed when he looked at the brand who bought it and says it's funny, but didn't disclose the name. He did try to hype up this sale on Instagram, being like, guys, I'm doing something insane. I'm selling FYRE on eBay starting at 1 cent.
Today, I am taking the most famous festival brand, FYRE Festival, and putting it up for auction on eBay, starting at 1 cent.
And then you go to the auction and the very next bid is for $100,000. But he actually said the thing that I said. He said, after 2 years of rebuilding FYRE with honesty, creativity, and relentless effort, it's time to pass the torch. The shit-smelling, broken down, not even capable of being lit again torch is being passed to someone special. I really hope whoever bought this just lets it die so we never have to hear anything about this ever again, or they're gonna bring it back and make it the biggest thing ever. There was no in between, trust me. Whatever Billy decides to do next though, I will give you guys an update. Until tomorrow, peace.